Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what's cracking? This is Darren McDuffie welcoming you to Fat Man Radio. And tonight I am very excited. But before I tell you what I'm so excited about, I wanted to just share something with you. So last weekend I did my first bout of hypnotherapy. And if you aren't familiar with hypnotherapy, I'll tell you what it is. It's actually, you do a session, and I did a session where you kind of confront some of your subconscious beliefs. And I've had this big fear of failure for a long time. Even though I was an athlete and I played basketball in front of a lot of people, I've always, when it came to my business and doing the things that you see me doing now with the the nutrition and the exercise and all that other stuff, I always had this big fear of failure that I wouldn't attract enough people. So last Saturday, I took some steps to kind of alleviate that, and I had a session with a young lady here in Coral Springs, Florida, where I am located, and we dealt with my fear of failure. So she kind of took me through what was happening, and for those of you out there who don't know, is that we form a set of beliefs from the time we were between the ages of 7 and 12, and we actually do what I call stinking thinking. That's where we get all the things. My mother used to say something like money doesn't grow on trees, which affects prosperity and things of that nature. Or there were times when my mom said, I just can't afford that. And that all goes back into your subconscious beliefs. And believe it or not, we live those things over and over again. And that's why we can't seem to move forward. Sometimes you might make some money, and sometimes you may not make money. And that it's all because you're living a set of subconscious belief, and they create your reality over and over and over again. So I decided to just take some steps to kind of erase my subconscious beliefs and then do something about that and form some new subconscious beliefs so I can move forward, because I have some big, big things on my plate that I want to do, especially with nutrition and some other things. And I just felt that the need for me, in order for me to move forward, I need to kind of erase some of the things that I was thinking about and form some new patterns, form some new beliefs so I can create a new reality. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I always like to tell people, if there's something that's holding you back, then it's up to you to recognize that and move forward. I've seen so many people with health not improve their health because they think that they can't afford it, or someone not improving their relationship because they're scared, they're afraid to let go of that one person who they think that they'll never find somebody else. So if there's something that's holding you back, don't be afraid to step out there and actually do something about it. Move forward in your life. I'm all about that. So tonight I'm very excited because I tracked this gentleman down. I actually tracked him down. I read his book about a year ago through a friend's suggestion, and I hope she's listening tonight. But I read his book. I went to the library, found the book, read it cover to cover. I think I read the book in about 3 days, and I probably could have read it in 2 days if I would have just sat there. But I had to eat, sleep, wash, all of that stuff. So the book is called Never Be Sick Again, and it's written by Dr. Raymond Francis. And this book, I have 2 favorite books, and this will probably change as I start interviewing people. But right now I have 2 favorite books. And one is Never Be Sick Again, which I'm interviewing. And one is Kevin Trudeau's book, Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. And these were 2 books that kind of started me on the path. But Never Be Sick Again, I think, is a great book for those out there who are on their journey. They've just started discovering, just starting to be conscious about their health. And it explains everything. I'm telling you, the book kind of goes in depth with everything. But it's a simple book, and it's very, very easy to read, and anybody can understand, and it doesn't talk over your head. There's a lot of books that I read, they tend to talk over your head, and then you get disinterested in them. But this book is very, very down to earth, very easy to read, and for someone who was, I believe Dr. Francis was trained as a scientist at MIT, for him to write something that was so reader-friendly is just a testament to him. So I'm going to bring Dr. Francis on, and we'll get started with the interview. And before I do that, let's just get some housekeeping out of the way. If you want to dial into the show and ask a question, the number is 646-716-9371. Again, number is 646-716-9371. 9371. And I'm going to encourage you to dial in and ask questions. Don't be shy about this stuff. There was a time when I would just keep my mouth closed and I wouldn't ask questions. And I remember something my mother said to me, and it's always kind of rang true. She said, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you have something that you want to ask, there's no dumb questions. There are no dumb questions when it comes to your health. So call in, ask a question. You have myself and you have an expert. You have Dr. Francis on the line, and he's ready to accept your questions and answer them. So let me bring Dr. Francis on. Dr. Francis, are you there?
I am here. Thank you very much. It's good to be with you.
Thank you. Welcome to Fat Man Radio, and that stands for perfectly healthy in tone, by the way. So
I love it.
So let's get into Never Be Sick Again. I know you heard me raving about the book, and I like I said before we actually got on the show, I really enjoyed the book, and I think it's a very simple book to read, and everybody can understand that. And the first chapter of your book is dedicated to your story, and I was just wondering if you could share with the listeners your story and how you came about health and how you actually almost died.
Yeah, I almost died, that's for sure. Well, here I am, a highly trained scientist from the best scientific school in the entire world, and I didn't know anything about human health. I knew a lot about chemistry, but I didn't know a lot about human health. I thought I was living a good life, and I didn't abuse myself. I mean, I didn't take street drugs. I didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't eat, lots of sugar. So basically, I led a pretty good life. I ended up getting sick, and then I went to my doctors, and what the doctors did is they made me sicker. So after I got sicker, I went to more doctors, and they made me even sicker, and they finally almost killed me. I took a drug that the doctor prescribed, and the drug poisoned my liver. My liver died. You hear of stories every now and then. People, go out and pick poison mushrooms. They eat the mushrooms, and it destroys their liver, and they die. Well, that's what happened to me. I took a prescription drug, and it poisoned my liver, and my death was a medical certainty. There was nothing that could save me, and at the last moment, I used my own knowledge of biochemistry to save my life. And then it took me 2 years of hard work and learning to get to where I could go back to work again. And that's how far gone I was. I was almost dead. And I'll tell you, I was in bed one day, and my neck hurt. And so what do you do when your neck hurts? Well, you move your head. Mm-hmm. So I told my head to move, and it would not move. I could not move my head. That's how far gone I was. That's how close to death I was. I couldn't move. So I was pretty far gone, and as I started getting well and learning and learning more and more and more, and then finally I got to where I could go back to work again, but it was never the same again. I kept asking, why did I get sick?